so much for coming out. This is a great turnout. This is the first time I've ever done a talk like this outside. This is a fantastic venue that you have here. I really like this. You've got the weather to take advantage of things like this, so this is a perfect setting. I like this. A lot of countries that I go to, I wouldn't have this opportunity, you know. But again, thank you for having me. I want to talk a little bit about you today. As opposed to just me, it's about you. I know a lot of the times we hear about, you know, in different genres, it's about us, it's about relying upon other people, having a crowdsource of education and inspiration. But it all comes down to how bad we want it as an individual that's going to take us from A to B, that's going to take us to that tipping point that's going to allow us to transform. A lot of the time we look at transformations as a physical evolution and not so much a mental evolution. All transformations are measured from the neck up, not from the neck down. That's how I measure them. We can all transform ourselves, but it has to come from within ourselves, not from what other people say, and we shouldn't do it for other people. We can act as an inspiration for other people to observe upon, but not specifically for someone, because that's fixed motivation. Fixed motivation will get us from A to B, but we want to continue through the rest of our lives to get to C. It's an evolutionary journey that there's no summit. It's an always consistent recycle of evolution. Now, the way that we should, that we look upon life, especially here in India, it's becoming very westernized. And with that Western culture that's coming in, of course we have the Indianized food that can be very fatty. We have the ghee. But now with the westernized food that's coming in as well, we have the fast foods, a lot of sugars, and we're kind of doomed for failure. Diabesity is what we call, is starting to take over the country now. It's obesity, but with health complications of diabetes kind of being mixed together. That's what we're up against. That's what we're fighting against. And unfortunately, it's surrounding us, and it's very easy for us to become a product of our environment. If that's the environment that we surrounded by, that's a product that we become a part of. Just on the way here now, I gave one of my meals to Jag, and it was warm because I know that he'd prefer over a meal. To me, it doesn't really matter, but that's because I'm used to having cold meals. Why would we prefer warm meals? Well, because that's probably what we were fed when we were kids, and we've grown up to that. So now we've adapted to that environment. We like warm meals. Doesn't mean that we can't eat cold meals. It's just that's what we're used to. So it's very easy to become a product of that environment. You think about when you was a kid, what was the first words that you probably learned? It wasn't mum, it wasn't dad, it was probably no. Get down from there, you're not supposed to be up there, don't talk to that person, put that down, stop eating that. So we learn no. We learn to, instead of being open to opportunity, we kind of negate it, we put it by. We have to change that within ourselves. Obviously, the older we get, and maybe getting a little bit more difficult for us to take on a new way of thought in order for us to come into a new way of a transformation. But it can be done. One thing that I do try to acknowledge and try to get people to do, I try to encourage them, is to get out there a little bit. Don't stay within the realms of your own home. Get out there, interact. Try to go a little bit further than Hyderabad, maybe a little bit further than India, and experience, because that'll really broaden your mind. If you don't go, you'll never know. Is this still on? Yeah, it's still on. So by going out there and experiencing different cultures, for me, it's really broadened my mind. Coming here to India has really broadened my mind. It's given me a different perspective, a different approach to things. However, it's easy, like I said, you become a product in your environment, and you easily use that as an excuse. So whilst I was here and, lived in India for several years, one of the big excuses that I used to hear is, I can't transform because we eat Indian food. Kind of funny, because I wouldn't hear that if I went to Mexico, if I went to Italy. I can't transform because we eat pasta or we eat pizza. But that's one thing that I would hear here in India. I can't transform because we eat Indian foods. But it's easy to navigate and not so much think about the product of your environment, but to become creative with the foods that you eat. All it does, all that happens, you just have to get a little bit more creative and change your perception of the foods that's around you. Okay, a lot of them may be oily, may be greasy. Every time that I order a chicken tikka here, I always ask no butter, no oil. They may turn around to me and say, no oil, no oil, or just a little bit, no oil. It can be done. I've seen it. I have it. So you just have to learn to get a little bit creative to change the pattern that's been born within us. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. So when we look at a transformation, it's very easy for us to look at it from a visual perspective. We look upon it and we think, okay, I'd like to change the shape of my chest, maybe have some rounder shoulders. I'd like to have a six-pack. I want to get rid of the fatty belly. I want to get rid of the man boobs, you know? So that can help us, but maybe only for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months. But we shouldn't be following the perspective of us from a vanity point of view. It should be from a health point of view or from a therapeutic point of view. That's why I train. That's why I eat the way that I do. It's therapeutic to me. It makes me feel good. Some people do yoga, meditation, lower their cortisol levels. Sure, I do that, but it's weight training for me is number one. That's my therapy. Makes me feel good. It gives me the energy. That's my AA batteries to get through the day, to do the amount of work that I do. And the feel-good endorphin rush that I get from working out, I feel good. Why wouldn't I do it? You'll be amazed what weight training can do. Some people may have emotional issues, could deal with anxiety, depression, solitary confinement. It could turn into solitary refinement if you practice it the right way and acknowledge the benefits of working out. Our bodies are made to move. We're hunters, we're gatherers. We shouldn't be just sat in our butts on a computer, on our phones, getting everything done for us. We're supposed to be out there getting active. We're supposed to move. That's what the bodies are made to do. So get out there and actually work out. It doesn't have to be within a gym. You can do some plyometrics. You can do some exercise at home. You can play tennis. You can play cricket. You can get up and go for a walk in the morning. Something is better than nothing. But I guarantee you when you start doing that, you do feel better whether you need the therapy or not. It will make you feel better because all of a sudden now your blood flow is starting to move. You start to assimilate the foods that you're eating. So you feel more energized. A lot of people wake up in the morning and think, oh, I'm too tired to exercise. I'm too tired to go to the gym. If they actually went to the gym, if they got up and exercised, they would have more energy. That's how you gain the more energy. That's like plugging yourself into the socket to get you going for the day. And look at it from a health point of view, as opposed to, like I said, a vanity point of view, especially if you look on social networks now, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's all about that look. It's all about that great selfie, getting the right angle. See, I see you smiling. You know what I'm talking about. We've all done it. But the beauty of it comes much, much further than skin deep. It's the health. We only have one life on this earth, dependent on the religion that you believe in. Okay? Why wouldn't we make it the absolute best that we could possibly be? Of course, we want to be educated. Sure. We want to be motivated, and we want to transform, and we want to get the best out of ourselves in every way, shape, form, with our relationships, with our education, with our careers, with our health. Number one should come from your health. It's great to have materialistic possessions for some, but this should be the number one possession for all of us. So why would you want to put some type of food in your body or drink a certain alcohol beverage or, smoke cigarettes, something that's going to take away from your life? Doesn't really make sense. We're supposed to be looking after our bodies and considering this as our temple, as number one. As soon as you're able to change your perception and think more along those lines, that is the limitless potential and the limitless motivation that you will have year after year after year to make this a lifestyle change. It isn't just a transformation. I'm going to get in shape for this wedding, for this photo shoot, for that potential partner. It's there for life. Us as number one. Anybody that would ridicule you for breaking out a Tupperware container, taking your food with you like I do everywhere, they're not going to be with you at the end of your days. supporting you. You are going to be supporting you. That's why I say this is about you, number one. Doesn't matter what other people say. You have to look after yourself in order to give more of yourself. Some people say that working out and eating so many meals a day and getting up to do the cardio is very selfish. You're not spending enough time with a partner or with your family or whatever. It's the absolute opposite. If you give more time, more quality time to yourself, you're going to be able to give more of yourself. You're going to feel better. You're going to be a better person to be around. You're going to have more energy to spend more time with your family, with your friends. And if you have kids, or will someday have kids, then of course you want to be a role model to them. You want to have the energy to play with them, especially as you get older. You're only going to have that by staying active, by looking after yourself, by continuing to feed yourself with the live cultures of food that we have available to us. You know what I mean? Like I was in Africa just some months ago, and I went and visited a school and an orphanage there. And in this orphanage, they were up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Their education started at, I believe it was 8 o'clock. They would go until 4 o'clock. Then from 5 till 7, they went and did they had their like dance classes and musical classes where they were singing, and it was fantastic. The sound that was coming from these kids was just out of this world. And then when they left, they would have evening classes until 9 p.m. in the evening. These kids had amazing social skills because they didn't have phones. They weren't communicating with each other through WhatsApp. They weren't online. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's very easy for us to become overcome with it. So their social skills were amazing. They were eating the food off the land, fresh produce. These kids had so much energy. They were all in great shape as well. That's something that we can kind of learn upon, these social skills with each other. Eating fresh produce and looking at food as like a live culture. I look at food completely different now because I have changed my perception. I think now, okay, I'm getting food that's cleansing. I'm having food that's a live culture, that's feeding every single one of my trillion living cells in my body. I'm having the antioxidants that break down the free radical damage that we build up. And in a stressful world, we do build up a lot of cortisol. So I do control that to the best of my ability through meditation. I'll take yoga classes, and obviously I build up cortisol levels to a certain extent when I'm training very, very hard. So I do everything that I can to keep that inflammation down through my food, through hydration. You've got coconut water here. Take advantage of that because that's the best source of fluid. That's the closest liquid that we have to blood plasma. So drink your coconut water, you know. Yes, you can have your coffee, you can have your teas or whatever, but making sure that you're staying hydrated with fluid is imperative to your production, physically and mentally. Chances are, if you're dealing with a headache, or if you're dealing with a lack of energy and your performance is down, chances are it's because you haven't been drinking enough water. Sometimes if I'm training clients and, you know, they're not performing as they should, they're not getting the reps out, they're not getting the sets, and I'm asking them questions. Did you work okay yesterday? Was it stressful? Did you have a late night? Didn't have much sleep? What about your food? Did you mess up your foods? Chances are it wasn't any of those things that has brought them down. It's their lack of fluid. The body is made up of 70% fluid, around 70%. So you can imagine if you're down even by 5%, that's going to bring down your performance mentally and physically by about 5%. If you're doing that every day over a week, you could be 35% down to the possibility of what you could be. So it makes sense that you're always drinking plenty of fluid. If you drink coffee, it doesn't count. Okay? You can have coffee, but you've got to chase it with another cup or glass of water because coffee does act like a diuretic. You need to drink a cup as well, just to rehydrate yourself, okay? When it comes to perception as well, I know what you're telling me, but it's hard to eat those foods. Of course it's hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You know, when you're thinking about, you know, maybe plain foods like your chickens or your fish, your poultry, your egg whites, along with your oatmeal, your rice, your whole wheat chapatis, You know, you want a bit of butter, you want a bit of ghee, you want some sauces. But you just need to change your perception to a certain degree. You see the poor people on the street, and they're begging for their next meal. They don't know where their next meal is coming from, what it's going to be made of. But we have that opportunity for us. We know that we'll get our next meal. We're pretty lucky to have food on our plate. We're pretty lucky to know where a gym is and become a member. Then let's take advantage of it. Think about that the next time that if you're following a clean, healthy dietary plan, think about that the next time the food's on the plate. Well, I'm gracious to have food on my plate. I can actually fuel my body and take care of it and enhance my health because I have the opportunity. Not everybody does. And it's very easy for us to take that for granted and not be grateful for that. Okay? So I always do that. If I'm thinking, I don't even think that now. It just comes second nature. But if I'm thinking, okay, there's a food, it's dry, I've got no sauce, it's cold as usual, okay. At least I have food. At least I don't have to starve. I can fuel myself so I have more energy. So I can do more with my work. I can be a little bit more multifaceted. I can be productive. I can get more things done in my day. All you have to do is just change your perception slightly, and then all of a sudden it isn't so bad. So you've got a Tupperware container and you're going to break it out as a social gathering. So what? You can. You don't have to eat what everybody else is eating just because they say so. And you know what? You can actually act as an inspiration yourself by doing so. Because I've done it. I've done it throughout the years. And, you break out a Tupperware container and family members saying, what are you doing that for? Look at me. I'm fine. I'm healthy. You don't have to eat like that. And they'll ridicule. They'll take the mick out of you. They'll point you out. But then, maybe a couple of days later, or even a couple of hours later, they're asking me, what's in there? What are you eating? And then next thing you know, they want to know, could you write out a diet plan for me? And then they've got a Tupperware container that they're breaking out, one big happy cult family. But that's what people do. They learn by observation. That's why I'm always trying to carry myself a little bit smarter and a little bit, with a little bit more responsibility than I used to, because I know that I could possibly be recognized. So I make sure that I'm eating the food that I should be eating at all times. It's great. You guys act as accountability to me now, because otherwise, with that transparency, my sincerity is on the line now. I've got to make sure that I do what I say. I've got to live by the words that I speak. And it's the same, maybe if I'm in the gym, it's very easy for people to leave the weights out and they just leave a mess there. But people learn by observation, so I want to be that person that puts the weight back. It shouldn't be down to the job of the person that's just working the gym floor. We've all got responsibilities, and like I said, don't think about anybody else. Think about you. This is all about you as an individual. If you want it bad enough, you can get out there and you can get anything that you want. It is fantastic that you're here at such a great school and educating yourself. I have to admit, I wasn't good in school. I wasn't a troublemaker or anything like that by any means. A lot of things just didn't interest me, and I guess, on my school reports it said, Chris is very easily distracted, and I was. I was thinking, I want to be home on the farm, because I grew up on the farm. I want to be riding my motorbike. That's what I wanted to do in all my spare time. And I had several jobs along the way. I went to college to be an engineer for a little while, maintenance engineer. I worked on a building site. I worked behind a bar. I was a driver, as a panel beater. I was absolutely everything. I had so many jobs, and it wasn't until I found fitness through rehab, because I had back issues from motocross, that I felt alleviated from the pain, and it made me feel good. It brought up my emotions. I felt an endorphin rush, and I thought, this is what I want to do. So then I went to college and studied that for 3 years. But then, with the exercise, I found I was able to increase the blood flow to my brain, so I could think clearer now. With a better blood flow to your body, obviously, you're giving yourself more mobility. With a better blood flow to your brain, I had more activity up here now. It's like, hello, I've got this thing to think with and educate myself with. I'd never really utilized it before. It's true. If you don't exercise it, if you don't move it, you lose it. And that goes the same for the brain as well. So then, through that, I started to self-educate myself. I was no good at English, so I bought Merriam-Webster's Book of Grammatical Writing and Journalism, and I taught myself how to write properly, how I could get my papers and my articles published in magazines. And once I did that, I found out that it was easier. Thank you. If I can do it, anybody can. I thought, well, I'm going to teach myself photography. So if I teach myself photography, I'm able to have images to accompany the articles so I can then better sell them to magazines. So that's what I did. Bought myself a camera, taught myself photography. I'm not very good at reading instructions, however I did, and through trial and error, I did photography. And then from there I thought, wow, okay, this is great. And, I went to college for 3 years, studied health and fitness and international sports science and therapy. And I did that for 3 years, and with that qualification, I thought, wow, well, let me see what I can do with this. I don't want to just train people one-on-one in Wales, because Wales was a bad area for me personally, where I was at that moment in my life. As I'm a little bit older, I love the place. I'm very appreciative of the place and the people, but back then, there was a lot of people drinking alcohol, a lot of people that were into drugs, and I thought, I need to separate myself from this crowd. I need to seek another crowd source of inspiration. So that's when I learned about surrounding myself with people with similar goals, that these days you have the internet. It's a little bit easier. You don't have to move to the other side of the world like I did. So I went and worked on cruise liners for a while as a personal trainer, and then as a massage therapist, because I had those qualifications as well. And with that, I then moved to Australia, and I did mobile personal training there, and then I opened my gym. And then I thought, well, I want to reach more than one-on-one people here. That's when I started writing the articles. And then with that, thank you, with that, I contacted several magazines, and I guess I kind of pounded them down until they gave in and said, okay, we will give you a contract already, leave us alone. So then I moved to the US and started writing full-time for several fitness magazines there. And after a couple of years of doing that, I thought, well, I could publish a magazine. I'm writing the articles. I'm taking the pictures. How about that I take on some writers who want to contribute to this? I'm not very good at selling ads, but I know I can provide the content. So I started my own magazines then for 2 years called Cage Muscle out of LA when I was living in LA. And I did that with the purpose of making money. I did it because I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not good at selling stuff. I wasn't selling advertisements, which makes a magazine survive. I enjoyed it. It was a passion. I was able to reach out to so many people. Like a lot of people say, well, how do you get sponsorship? How do you make money? How do you do this out of this? That's never your number one goal, for me anyway. The number one goal is to reach out to as many people as possible, and hopefully you get them to change their way of thinking. If you can get them to change just 3%, that's 3% better, then okay, we've won. We're going in the right direction. Hopefully this can have a snowball effect. That is never the first. It may come as a secondary role, but it's not your primary role. And with that, because I was putting this magazine out for a couple of years, like I said, I wasn't making any money out of that. I was freelancing for other publications to make ends meet. But through that, I then got noticed by bodybuilding.com, the world's largest online resource, and they said, hey, we need an editor-in-chief. You can edit, you can take your images, you can write. Why don't you move up here to Boise, Idaho, and take this role? I looked around Boise, Idaho, and I thought, this is much more like home than LA. I'll go. So that's where I started from there. And then using that platform to then starting to write the books, and then starting to do a video series, so we could reach out to a much larger spectrum of people. And I'm so glad I did, because now I'm in front of you guys, talking to you, come over to India and work with the people here. Thank you very much. But now that has taken me around the world, and I absolutely love it. I'm still that young boy from Wales growing up on the farm, so sometimes I have to pinch myself and think, wow, that happened quick. This is a great ride. Let's continue along this ride. And it's a lot of fun. But it all comes down to, number one, taking care of myself day in and day out. Like I said, it doesn't have to be in a gym, but I do encourage it, but some form of fitness. Because that form of fitness and taking care of yourself with the foods that we put into our body exercise every day helps us assimilate our foods so we can have better concentration. If we've got a better blood flow around our bodies, we're going to have a better blood flow to our brain. And studies prove that we can be up to 20% smarter with that increased blood flow to our brain. So, wow, you want to increase your education, you want to increase the assimilation of the foods and look better with it? Why wouldn't we do it? Take advantage of that gift that we have in front of us. Don't sit down and let it pass us by, because once it's passed by, that's it. It's gone. Doesn't matter what age you are, you're never too old. I always say age only matters on your driver's license. Doesn't matter anywhere else. Never use that as an excuse. Because you think about it, how many excuses are out there? Thousands, millions. It's very easy to grab hold of an excuse. Try to turn every excuse that you have in life into a commitment. If you have a weakness, I always say, do whatever you can to turn that into a weapon. You can do it. It all starts up here. If there's anything that you fear, do it. Put yourself out there. There's only one way of dominating these and turning these weaknesses into a success is by starting somewhere. It doesn't have to be a massive goal that is a year from now. Break it down into small goals. If you say, okay, for instance, I want to transform my body, I'm going to give myself a year, fantastic, but break that down into a smaller goal of maybe a month. Then break it down into tomorrow. If you can go through tomorrow without eating bad foods, eating healthy foods and doing your activity, focus then on the following day, and then the following day. And that will lead to your 3 months. That will lead to your 3 years. But if you think too far ahead, you have too much wiggle room, too many variables that can go wrong. So that's why you break it down into very small, manageable goals. I do recommend as well to keep yourself accountable. Maybe tell your friends, have a little notebook, a little pocket book with you all the time, and write down the meals that you ate throughout the day. Because it's very easy for us to say, yeah, I ate pretty good today. But then when you write it down and you see it looking back at you, maybe it wasn't so good. And if it wasn't on the plan, what I say is highlight it. Highlight it. If you have 7 highlights throughout the week, you didn't do anything. You just stayed in the same spot. Maybe you missed a meal. Maybe you had a bad meal. Maybe you missed your exercise for that day. There's 3 days that's behind already. It all adds up, but then when you've got it staring back at you, it makes it a little bit easier for you to be accountable, not only to yourself. If you want to, tell other people. I know some people that have had business cards made up and said, these are the 5 things that hold me back, and these are the 5 things that I'm going to do to pursue to go forward. Like, I know somebody who had, was craving bad foods more than anything, but they were a smoker. And they said, I'm not going to smoke any more cigarettes. And they got like 200 business cards made up. I'm not saying you have to go to this extreme. But they sent out these business cards to families, friends, co-workers. And that kept her that much more accountable to not ever smoking again. When you do that and you can use a crowdsource of inspiration with your transparency, it puts your sincerity on the line. So this is something that I encourage you to do. Don't only keep your goals to yourself. Tell everybody. If it's within your social circle, fine. If it's online, fine. But that gives you more accountability. Like the owner of bodybuilding.com, Ryan DeLuca, said, I'm not going to eat red meat anymore. And he put it online. He hasn't eaten red meat for like 8 years now. It worked. Because what would that do to his sincerity if he was caught eating a burger? Wouldn't do too much in his favor, would it? So by using these things that we have available to us, do it. Take advantage. Make the change right now, because it can make a huge change within your life. I know for a fact, if I hadn't have found the gym, I wouldn't have done half the things that I've done in my life. Maybe none of them. I don't know. But I know for a fact I wouldn't have done a lot of them, because that gives me the energy. It gives me the source of inspiration to go out there and make a change, not only for other people, but for myself. I always put myself as number one. I'm not going to come here unless I've had my meals, unless I've had my workout, because I'm able to give more of myself first. So I'll always put myself as number one. May sound selfish, but I believe it's the absolute opposite to being selfish. Okay? So do put yourself as number one, as your priority. What makes you feel good? What makes you go out there to attack the day? Okay? Now, when it comes to, obviously, the food, that is the number one killer for us. And I don't mean that as it's going to kill you. It can, but it's tough for us. If we've got to do our exercise or go to the gym, that's only 1 hour of the day, right? What about the other 23 hours? If we're not thinking about food, we're making our food, we're preparing our food, we're carrying our food, we're shopping for food. So is food. It's tough. As I said, it's not meant to be easy, and I'd be lying if I did say it was easy. It is tough, but it is possible. I haven't missed a meal now for 17 years. 17 years, and I'm not... Thank you. But could you imagine how much pressure is on my shoulders now to not miss a meal? You know, that happened quite a few years ago. I was like, wow, it's been 7 years. I cannot miss a meal now. It's impossible. Everywhere I go, I've got food with me. Everywhere. Because I know the traffic's going to be bad. I know I'll probably have a delay on the plane. I may have to stay overnight somewhere in some city that I don't know anything about. I know I'll be at work late. I know there'll be... Anything can come up. Anything can crop up. If I was to say, it's going to be absolutely fine, I'll go through these 12 weeks, it'll be fine, I'd be in denial. I am prepared for everything to go wrong. I'm prepared for a social gathering. I'm prepared for an injury. I'm prepared for a death in the family. It will happen. I'm not in denial. It will happen. But I'm prepared for it. So nothing comes as a surprise. Everything is generally easy going throughout the week, isn't it? During our work week, we know the schedule. On the weekend, everything can kind of go out the window. Friends call us, come to the bar, go to a social gathering, everything. That's what we have to be prepared for. I'm not saying not go out, but be prepared. Before you do go out, have your food with you. You could have some dried fruit, some dried nuts, even in your car, so you're never stuck without something. Okay? When I say these meals as well, and you should eat frequently, it's little and often. Call them grazing intervals, if you will. Doesn't have to be a big meal. The problem is with the 3 standard meals that we generally eat per day, they can become big meals. All of a sudden, that takes a lot of energy for us to digest. When that takes a lot of energy, we feel tired. Are we going to go out and want to exercise when we're tired digesting this food? No. That's why I do recommend that you have smaller meals. So you can break those meals in half and maybe just have 5 meals throughout the day. As soon as you wake up, eat something healthy. It could be oats. Can be some eggs with that, you know. And then eat healthy throughout the day, a nice lean form of protein, a nice slow digesting carbohydrates, maybe, your rice, maybe your whole wheat chapati, maybe, your sweet potatoes, your oatmeal. Throughout the day, just very small meals. And if you have this influx of energy within your life cells, you're going to have more energy to go out and give more of yourself and exercise and have a more productive quality way of life. Makes sense that you feed your body with a life source instead of something that's going to slow it down that could be taken away from that life source. Okay? Think of it as a life culture. It's adding, enhancing your health. But this all comes down to from the head up, from the neck up. It's not going to be your genetics that's going to hold you back. It's not going to be the potential. It's going to be you that holds you back. Nobody else. It's very easy for you to blame your surroundings. It's very easy to blame family members, friends, the traffic, everything. It's very easy to be controlled by your environment. You can control it, but it all starts up here. You have to control your environment because everything outside of these walls are going to hold you back. So you have to be prepared for that, to put yourself first, to control this. Am I making sense here? I'm not putting you to sleep or anything. No? Okay, cool. All right. Have I got time to ask questions here as well? Because I always say with my talks and my seminars that it's as good as you make it. The silly question is the one that isn't asked as well. So I want to make this talk as much for you as it is about what I think that you should hear, okay? So if you do have any questions, can I ask questions now?
Of course.
Yeah, if you do have any questions, please do ask them.
Rashmi will bring, each of you will ask a very brief question and hand over the mic to Rashmi. So we'll start with that gentleman there.
Hey Chris, how are you? Welcome to India once again.
Thank you.
I'm Bharat Jain, texted you yesterday, Minister. You remember that? Okay, my question is, I've been an ardent supporter of DDP ever since I've started gymming, but I'm a pure vegetarian.
Yep.
And I've put this question to you a couple of times, even on Facebook, but you've been quite busy. Anyways,
Sorry about that.
No, but you've been doing it all for us now. So my question to you is that, could you please suggest and publish an article for the sources of protein for pure vegetarians, and how do we consume it, especially for the ones going DDP?
Okay. So I'm assuming that you haven't read my book, Bollywood Body by Design, then.
I did read half of that, but then I couldn't go further with it.
Okay, you didn't get to... Was my book that bad?
No, it was not that bad.
I better rewrite that one. So you got a little bit further. So in Bollywood Body by Design, the reason why it's called Bollywood Body by Design is that I wanted to make a book specifically for the Indians. Because like I said, I'd always get the throwback. I can't transform. I can't do a diet. I can't do a bodybuilding program. I can't exercise because I eat Indian food or I'm a pure veg. I'm vegetarian. So I would always basically fight back and say, yes, it can be done. You just need to do this, this, and this, or eat plain foods, as I do. But I knew that there had to be a compromise, because just like with any relationship, you have to compromise, right? So I wrote the book with vegetarian recipes in there. I worked with a lot of chefs here that would work in with the actors, because, as you know, for instance, like John Abraham is pretty much a vegetarian. He was pescatarian, so he was eating some fish, but then he's pretty much vegetarian now. So I'd work with these people to get good Indianized dishes, but with vegetarian foodstuffs. So basically, it can be done. It can be done, because if you do eat egg whites, yes, you've got the egg whites, you've got lentils, you have your chickpeas, you have your tofu, you have your soy, you have your whey protein. It all can be done. You just have to become a little bit creative, and you have to be aware that you are limited more than the average person with your protein sources. But it can be done.
Thank you so much, Chris. I would like to give the mic. Just another question. The question is, if you may allow me, it'll be for most of the Indians, I'm sure all those gymmers, they'll have this question. The question is, for ones who work out, there's an unequal body part. Like if I work on my chest, I have more muscle in my left than the right. So this is a problem that you face, unequal muscles on the, one part of the body, left bicep is more and the right is left, or right is less. So how do you tackle with that?
You're probably a little bit too self-critical with your body, because most people do this. I have a lat bigger than the other. I have a bicep bigger than the other. I have a leg bigger than the other. Just happens. A lot of the time, but I don't get caught up on it. I can be the best that I can be. You know, I can't compare myself to someone else, but I could possibly be 3% better. As I always say, I'm not generally the happiest person in the world, so I wouldn't compare myself to somebody who is happy all the time, but I can be 3% happier. But, you know, with something like that, it could be anything. It could be nerve damage within your spine that doesn't allow the nerves to go to one side and contract as much as the other. So there's little things like you can have massage that improve the blood flow and stuff like that. Thank you. But I wouldn't get caught up in it. You're being critical and probably seeing your voids instead of seeing the benefits. It's very easy to see things that we don't have instead of be appreciative of what we do. Thank you.
Hey Chris, so I've been following you for 5 years now, and my basic question is that throughout your videos, I've seen you've gotten a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Okay, so one thing missing is there is not enough of warm-up and cool-down things, stretchings that needs to be there for the new people that are coming up. You know, they experience muscle pulls every time, or pulls in their legs every time. So is there anything coming up in your next sessions on that?
No, I do always recommend, you know, if you noticed, a lot of my injuries have come outside of the gym. So I tore my hamstring and my pec actually snowboarding. I separated both my AC joints downhill mountain biking. I tore my rotator cuff surfing. So a lot of these injuries came from things outside of the gym. I actually had one major injury just last year when I was doing the 4 weeks to shred. But that was on a warm-up. I don't know if you noticed I was doing warm-ups on a lat pull down. So I do warm up. I do warm up within the exercises that I'm performing. Sure, you can do treadmill, you can do, cycle, you can go for a walk around the block for 10 minutes beforehand, and making sure that you do definitely warm up because you want to get the blood flow. I'll generally do that more through sets than anything else. But it's like with anything, you can stretch, you could be nimble like I did before I went snowboarding and stuff like that. Sometimes it just happens, though. Again, I'd be in denial probably if I didn't think I'd probably injure myself again. God forbid, I hope I don't. But it just happens, unfortunately. It's only happened once for me in the gym, though. Thank God.
Hey, Chris, so you've mentioned something about eating 5 meals a day.
Yeah.
So do you recommend anything? Can you know your thoughts about intermittent fasting? Do you recommend that? Or
No, I don't recommend intermittent fasting. Again, the reason being is that we're supposed to be feeding a nice steady flow of nutrition to our body. If we intermittent fast, so if we go for a long period of fasting, what happens? The blood sugar levels can really drop. When the blood sugar levels drop, we get a craving. We want sugars. And that's the body telling you to bring it back up as fast as possible. If you want to eradicate blood sugar crashes and eradicate drops in energy, have a steady flow of energy throughout the day. It's going to be better for your intestines to deal with smaller amounts of food throughout the day as opposed to a big amount, because remember, the intestines are a muscle as well. You don't want them to expand. Okay.
Yeah. You talked about body only.
Yeah.
You didn't play with the mind. Whereas this country, India, believes more with the mind. We do more of dhyan, meditation, and so on and so forth. So you just didn't mention about anything about playing with the mind. You talked only of body. So what's your view on that?
All right, okay.
Only physical. You're not going to my mental.
I don't know. I thought I was talking about the mind. Okay.
Okay. Now, just brief question, sir. Okay. I generally miss a meal. Lunch I miss, and I drink fluids, water. Will be okay? Fine, is it? Is it fine?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
I miss a meal a day. Lunch I miss a day, and I take only liquid.
Oh, you drink water instead of lunch?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You should drink both. You should both drink and you should eat. Obviously, your body needs nutrition. It needs antioxidants. It needs protein for hair regrowth, for eyesight, for skin replenishment, for nail growth. You need to feed it food. It has to have food, little and often. And of course, like I said, you're hydrated. You need to stay hydrated throughout the day. Never wait for thirst. Thirst is an indication that you could possibly go through dehydration. Food could be an indicator that you're going through malnutrition. So eat little and often, drink little and often, all the time. But when it comes to the mental aspect, of course, everything comes from the mind, number one. That's why, like I said, I meditate. I do active meditation. I do yoga several times a week because I'm trying to lower my cortisol levels and clear the brain. But it all comes from the mind, number one. I do take on an AKA role model because, as I said, I'm the young kid that grew up on a farm. There's a lot of things, if I think back to that person, I'm not going to be able to accomplish unless I take on that AKA character of mine in order to accomplish a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying your characteristics are going to be the same as mine. Yours may be a little bit more relaxed and more meditative. So you take on a more meditative approach to get through these things in the day that may be holding you back. Yeah? Thank you.
Hello, Chris. Well, I've been working out for past 2 years, and I've been on a high diet, taking 10 eggs and protein shakes and all. But my doctor suggests high protein is not good for health. In future, it might cause damage for your lungs and liver. Is that true? Or?
It's true and false. So if you're a person that doesn't work out, that doesn't exercise, that doesn't move, no, you don't need that much protein. It will become toxic to you. But, so for instance, every 12 weeks or so, I'll take about 10 to 14 days away from the gym. I want to give my body a rest. I want to replenish my motivation. I want to get rid of inflammation because I train hard. I train real tough. So during that time, I go very, very low on protein. I increase my antioxidant value. I'll detoxify my body, making sure that I'm having my pure lemon juice, my apple cider vinegar, my greens. But I'll really lower my protein. Why? Because I'm not exercising. I don't need as much. We build up scar tissue in our body when we're training. We're tearing down muscle fibers. That's why the next day you wake up after you've done legs, you're like, oh God, I'm sore. What's going to help them regrow? It's not going to be stretching. It's not going to be having a bath. It's not massage that's going to help get rid of the pain. It's going to be protein. Protein replenishes that scar tissue in the body. Okay? It helps you recover. So you need more protein than the average person. I need a lot more protein than the average person. I take in about 1.2 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight because my body uses it all. But if I'm not training, I'm not building up that scar tissue, then I don't need that much. Okay? So everybody's different. If you're sat on your butt all day, no, you don't need much at all. If you're working out and you're exercising, your body will utilize it. So last year, I went to the top clinic in the world in Tampa, Florida, to see the world's best doctor. While I was there, I went through over 213 tests. I had 60 in the first week that I was there. I came within the top 3% of people ever tested in that clinic. And I've been eating a high-protein diet. I've been eating a high-protein diet now for just over 16 years. But only when I'm exercising. So my body is utilizing every gram that I take in. So it's all relative.
Hi, Chris. This is Raghu.
Hi there.
It's really inspiring to listen to your story. So can you please take us through the journey of first 1-2 years of your physical transformation?
The first year, did you say?
First 1-2 years of your physical transformation, from where you went from average to good to great. And my second question is, there are many people who are good, but what's the most important thing we need to focus on to move to great?
It's consistency. So when I started, it was, I was racing motocross. I raced motocross for like 11 years. And over that time, I'd succumbed to quite a few injuries, and it was a back injury that stopped me altogether. I was bedbound for a couple of months there. And, I went to chiropractors, osteopaths, massage therapists, doctors. Nothing really alleviated the pain until I started physical therapy and rehab and actually strengthening the muscles around my spine that helped me alleviate it because I had bad lordosis of the spine. With that, I felt much, much better. I got over the depression that I was dealing with because I was, in so much pain. I was starting to get rid of the body fat because I was overweight because of no exercise. I felt better. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to go for a goal here. I'm going to focus on what shall I do? I'll do a bodybuilding show. So that's what I focused on. I used that as my goal because I didn't want something way, way in the future, years away. I wanted something now to focus on, so I used that as my goal, as my accountability, because I knew I was going to be up on a stage in nothing much more than my underwear and a bit of a tan. I better look okay, so, that put a lot of urgency on the table for me. But the number one thing I'd say with anything, it isn't a perfect exercise program. There's no secret. There's no secret training plan or secret number one nutritional protocol, and it's definitely not coming in a supplement. I can tell you that much. People who think that your transformation comes from a supplement are severely wrong. It comes from consistency. Consistency every single day, doing what you did yesterday but better. Because, like I said, that consistency can really fall off track when you have a bad day. You feel bad, you're like, I can't be bothered today. Had an argument with the girlfriend or with the work colleague. I feel bad, I feel down. It's easier to have a drink or eat bad food or do nothing. But staying consistent is what's going to let you go from okay to good to great. Doing something every day consistently to help you go towards your goals better than what you did yesterday. That's the number one that you need to focus on. Being consistent relative of the environment, relative to what could possibly go wrong. Being prepared. Thank you.
Hey Chris, thank you for the inspiring talk.
Thank you.
I have two questions which are kind of related. I'm into endurance activities, so I wanted to ask you, how can bodybuilding be used for better endurance performance? And my second question is, I don't know if you have heard about Robert Cheek. He's into vegan bodybuilding.
Yes.
And I eat vegan.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, do you think this is, this movement is growing very much, especially in the West. So what are your thoughts about it, vegan bodybuilding?
No, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's great. Robert Cheek has proven that it can be done. He looks great, right? It can be done. Like, your only professional bodybuilder in this country is a vegetarian. The only professional bodybuilder. How big is he? Weight would he be? He's about 18 stone. Now, that's an extreme, obviously, but I'm just saying it can be done. Now, when it comes to weight training and performance, yes, it will assist with your performance. I don't know if you know, like about 2 years ago, I did a triathlon. I completely, needed to lose as much muscle as I possibly could, so I pretty much took all the protein out of my diet just to try to lose as much muscle, but I found that I was able to improve my performance very quick due to the neuromuscular education that I had for my muscles. From the cycling, from the swimming, from the running, I was able, as I started to drop the muscle and drop the weight, because that muscle takes up a lot of oxygen, I was able to improve my performance that much better. It's that muscle density on your frame will improve your performance. When it comes to bodybuilding and weight training, you change things slightly. You wouldn't have much rest between your sets, maybe about 30, 45 seconds. You'd go for a lot of repetitions. When I say a lot of repetitions, anywhere between 30 to 50, but to absolute failure. This will assist with your recovery process. When you're out there on the track and you're running, you need to recover as you're running in order for you to get to the finish line and finish nearly as strong as when you started. So it should definitely be implemented within your program, I think, regardless. Thank you.
I would like to ask that, when is your last meal of the day?
When is my last meal? Immediately before I go to sleep. And a lot of people will say, I shouldn't eat after 8 o'clock or whatever. Well, it doesn't matter what time, because some people go to bed at 1 o'clock, some people go to bed at 8 o'clock. The reason why I recommend that, not just to myself, but to my clients as well, is that I try to shorten the fast time. That fast time, when you're sleeping 6 or 8 hours, your metabolism does slow down slightly. The longer you go without a meal, the slower your metabolism goes to preserve the food, to preserve your muscle. The body does think that you're going into hibernation, so it has to slow its heart rate and slow the metabolism. But when we're trying to maintain healthy or lower fat levels, we want that metabolism to be as fast as we possibly can. So I like to eat and recommend my clients to eat immediately before going to bed and as soon as they wake up to kickstart the metabolism. Now, this doesn't have to be a heavy meal. It can be very light, but having something healthy just to put into your body just before you go to bed assists with your metabolism. And I know the old wives' tale is, or don't eat after 6 o'clock or anything after 8 o'clock, but it shouldn't be anything heavy, just something very light. Does that help? Okay.
Yeah, that my name is Krish. I just wanted to know, that what kind of the exercise regime that you suggest for the people who are in the middle age, because at that time the degeneration of this of a muscle and also the health starts. So what do you suggest?
What sort of exercises?
Yeah.
Well,
for those
who are in the middle ages.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all relative. Again, I recommend that you go to the gym, but don't compare yourself to the person next to you that could be 10, 20 years younger. Your muscles have no idea what number is written on the dumbbell or the barbell or the machine that you're exercising on. All it understands is failure point, or the stress and the load that you place upon it. Of course, you should never compare it to somebody who's been training for a while, again, of your age, only for your experience and for your structure and basically what your abilities are. So again, when a female comes to the gym, I say, it doesn't matter what that person's doing next to you. Your muscles have no idea what anybody else is doing. Your muscles have no idea what number is written on that dumbbell or barbell. All it understands is exercise and movement, and that puts it in the right direction. So you should go to the gym regardless of your age, whether you're 30, whether you're 60, whether you're 80. You should go to the gym. Allow the blood flow to get to your muscles, to improve the density, to improve your bone density as well, and the lubrication to your joints. When you do not move your joints, they dry up. Synovial fluid is like an oil to an engine. The only way you can oil that engine is through movement. So I do recommend that. Like my mother, she hadn't exercised for a while. She was having major problems with her knees. So then I got her to start going to the gym and start working on the muscles around on her legs, so it takes away the stress from the joints. Because as we get a little bit older, compression comes on our spine, on our knees, and on our hip joints. Instead, you should increase the strength of those muscles, and it improves the alignment of the body, and it takes the stress away from the skeletal system. So regardless of your age, you should work out, but obviously with smarts, kind of leave that ego at the door that we had when we were 20 or 30 and train with the knowledge that we've encompassed since then. Make sense? Yeah.
Hi, Chris. Kiran here. Your Instagram follower. So, a couple of questions. So, I've been following the 28 Days to Shred program, and you mentioned doing cardio twice a day. So, you know the work and stuff like that, so I'm not able to keep up with that schedule. So, do you really recommend 2 times or maybe in the evenings or just once a day?
Now, there's a reason why I say twice a day, because that's the better way. Like, you could go once a day, but you're not going to get those results in 4 weeks. Like, 4 weeks is tough. It's really hard to get those results. That's why everything has to be not 99%, has to be 100%. Of course, if you can't do that because of work commitments or whatever, that's fine, but don't expect to get those results as if you were to do your cardio exercise twice a day. That's all I can say, Sometimes I have to sacrifice sleep. It's probably not always the best way, but that's my only way sometimes, because I work a lot of jobs. I wear a lot of hats. Sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day for me, but if I'm on a program such as that, I got to get my exercise. I got to get my cardio.
One more question. Where can I buy cage muscles other than bodybuilding.com?
Cagemuscle.com.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is, what's your concept on plateau?
On plateaus? Yeah. No idea what a plateau is. I've never encountered one.
Thanks.
So you have to think outside the box. For me, I've been training for such a long time now, I have to think outside the box. So what I do, I used to be in the mindset, if I want to put on size, if I want to put on weight, I have to eat more. I don't think like that anymore. Now I think about the foods that my body will absorb, what they agree with. So I don't really eat red meats or anything like that now. I eat foods that I feel that I can assimilate fast. I make sure that I cleanse my body all the time. So, like I said, in the morning I'll drink my apple cider vinegar and my lemon juice, and I feel that helps cleanse my body. So, if we're eating a high-protein diet, it can kind of clog up the intestines. If the intestines are clogged up, your body's not going to absorb the foods as it needs to assimilate. So I make sure that I'm cleansed. And as I said, cortisol level can really increase the fat on our body and decrease the muscle that we're trying to accumulate. So I always make sure that I try to keep my cortisol levels as low as possible. I try to eat clean, organic foods whenever I possibly can, because I don't want the pesticides. I don't want to have the contaminants in the water that I drink, so I always drink bottled water. I even shower in filtered with a charcoal filter. These are all the things that I do to make sure that I don't ever hit a plateau. But I think outside the box of what we generally think of as a bodybuilder.
So, thank you, Manthan, and thank you, Chris. And this premises is totally packed. Perhaps it may be one of the most useful talks. Chris, could you little elaborate how to distribute the 5 meals per day for a general purpose, and how to distribute the liquids? Time gappings, with respect to time gappings.
Yeah, well, I personally try to eat within every 3 hours. I never let that time pass over 3 hours. Otherwise, I'm not a good person to be around. You won't like me when I'm hungry. So that's what I always try to go. Like I said, first thing in the morning, I wake up and I'll eat immediately before I go to bed, and I'll space it out within 3 hours during the day. If I cannot physically eat my meals, which majority of the time that I can, then I'll drink a couple of meals through a protein shake if I'm on the road or anything like that. And one thing that I did want to make mention, providing that you're going for quality supplements, they're not bad, as a lot of people will tell you they are. You know, when I've done interviews here in India, it would blow my mind that I'd be asked about steroids and supplements in the same sentence, because obviously steroids are very, very bad for the body. It's something that should be eradicated. It should not be anywhere near a person's health and fitness goal. It shouldn't be. But supplements do have their place. However, you have to be logical with the supplements that you're taking. Okay? If you are a person that is missing meals throughout the day and it's inconvenient, then obviously a protein shake can help you. Protein shake is just a milk powder without lactose and without fats. That's all it is. It's not a magic pill or a magic powder that's going to give you big muscles. It's going to help replace a meal if you cannot get a solid meal in. It's a supplement. It just supplements your diet, okay? So, you know, if people have problems with with their joints, then a glucosamine joint formula can help with your knees. But you'd only take supplements needed for a void that you need to fill.
Hi, Chris.
Hi there.
So you were telling us about morning and evening cardio, right?
Yes.
So my take is that I was working out quite late in the evenings, before, like, probably an hour before hitting the bed, and my sleep cycle started getting disturbed. And then I was told that it's because of the high heart rate, because it's cardio, and then your heart is still pumping once you're done. What's your take on that? Then then the entire next day would start getting affected because of my improper sleep.
Yeah. Were you weight training at that time at night?
No, cardio.
It's cardio. So I assume that was high-intensity cardio. It was like running or cycling or something like that. Dancing, yeah, that's going to be tough. I'm not a good dancer, so I can't relate to that. But this is what I recommend when it's late-night cardio. It's low intensity. It's steady state. So when I say steady state, I mean that you're able to hold down a conversation like I'm talking to you right now. I'm not wheezing, I'm not out of breath. So if you're on a treadmill, you're doing a power walk, you're doing a fast walk, you're not running, you're not sprinting, because that is going to raise your heart rate up to an extreme level. Pardon? The results? No, if you follow any of my programs, if somebody, dependent on your goals, if you're on a fat loss diet, I never recommend any cardio further than steady state. Because what you're trying to do is preserve the muscle density on your body. Now, when I talk about muscles, I don't mean big muscles. Muscle density. Females should have muscle density as well, because that will maintain your metabolism, because you need a lot more calories to maintain muscle density than fat. Okay? If you do high-intensity cardio on top of your weight training, that can increase your cortisol levels as well. It's great for your heart, it's great for your lungs, but if you're on a calorie-restricted diet trying to burn fat, it's very easy for your cortisol levels to go up. So as this gentleman was talking about, he was following my 4 weeks to shred plan, where you see me basically get very lean in only 4 weeks. But the cardio that you'll see me doing is very steady state, because I'm trying to preserve muscle and burn as much fat as possible. The perfect fat burning zone for your body is around 65% or 60% of your maximum heart rate. You're probably going to be at around 80-90% if you're running and dancing. That's not the perfect zone for fat loss. It's great for heart and lung capacity, not for fat loss.
Good evening, sir.
Hey.
Sir, what are the exercises for the getting big round shoulders, as you are also suffering from the same problem?
Yeah.
Big rounded shoulders.
So shoulders were a weakness of mine. So what I did to start better training my the muscles in my shoulder was training my mind, getting that mind-muscle connection. I found when I was training too heavy, I was bringing my traps into the movement and not my shoulders. So I started to do a lot more drop sets and a lot of higher repetitions. So if I was trying to go for 30 repetitions, I'd probably reach failure at about 20, and then I'd rest and pause until I got to 30. So I'd rest a couple of seconds, do a couple of reps. Rest for a couple of seconds, do a couple of reps. So that worked for me, and then instead of using dumbbells all the time, I started using barbell plates. And that really helped my contraction of the muscle as well. So if I've ever got a weakness, I generally train that at the start of the week as well, when I've got more energy, and I prioritize it by training that muscle group first.
Sir, how many times we should work out? 2 times or 1 time? Because Mike Owen, you remember, sir, he used to work for 3 times a day. Mike Owen.
3 times a day?
That's first time workout at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then to 2 o'clock in the daytime and 8 o'clock.
Mike is selling his stories.
Mike Owen.
Yeah, I know. I trained with Mike in Golds from 2005 up to 2008. He's selling stories here, buddy. What I'd recommend that you do is just train that muscle group once every 5 days, as opposed to once every 7 days. Your body will not recover training 3 times a day. You come and train with me once in a day, I guarantee you're not going back to that gym again later.
We'll take a couple of more questions before we...
Yeah?
Once you reach your goal, you lost your consistency. Once you reach your goal, you lose your consistency. So how do you maintain consistency after reaching your goal?
You never reach your goal. No, you don't. There is no summit in what we're doing.
Smaller goals.
It's a constant evolution. Once you've achieved one thing, you move on to the next to make that better. So whatever weakness that you have, you turn that into a strength. But I guarantee once you've turned that into a strength, there's another weakness that you need to work upon. That's a great thing about this industry. We're constantly learning. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. You know, it's like a chameleon. There's never a summit. I never look at an end goal. It's always something else until, we pass on. So you never lose that consistency because we're always evolving.
What is your take on fitness bands?
Fitness bands, they have their time and their place, especially through injuries and stuff like that. And, you can use the bands after you've reached failure on dumbbells. I've used them, like sometimes I've strapped them to a leg extension machine to increase the contraction. If it works for you, do it. Oh, those bands? Oh, yeah, you mean for like counting calories and stuff like that? Yeah, if it works and it helps you keep accountable and it's a good reminder for you, sure. It's not something that I use. I use a heart rate monitor when I'm on a diet.
Hey, Chris. What is worse, starving or having bad food?
Good question. Having starving is obviously going to be worse. Bad food is bad, but at least that keeps you ticking. It keeps you alive. But try not to use any of those as an option. Try not to have anyone as a fail-safe. You don't want to starve and you don't want to eat bad food. So that's not even an option. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you can get. So the second that you say, I need something, I think that's a terrible word to say. I need something. I need this. I need that. Because you're focusing on something that you don't have. Like, so for instance, this person was on about shoulders. Like, I never said to myself, I need shoulders. I didn't say that because that's telling myself that I don't have shoulders, isn't it really? It's reminding myself that I have a void. So I'd say, I want shoulders. I want that. So say, I want good food. I want healthy food. Don't say, I need healthy food, because then you'll probably resort to starving or eating bad food. Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. At what age we have to start lifting weights? Does lifting early has an effect on height?
Effect on height?
Yeah.
I'd really like to say no, but I'm pretty short myself. But no, it doesn't. Again, that's an old wives' tale as well. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger would probably be a lot shorter if that was true. He started at a very young age. A lot of people do. But no, it will not stunt your growth. No. Well, you know, I'd recommend, you know, anything after the age of like 16, 17 is absolutely fine. I know people that train at a lot younger age, like, you know, Mike O'Hearn, who was talking about Mike O'Hearn. Like, Mike O'Hearn, he was training at like 11 years old. He actually won his first bodybuilding competition at 14. What's Mike, 6'3"? Yeah, he's a tall guy. Diet Coke? Not too good. Not too good. No, but the thing is, there's a lot of chemicals in it as well, isn't there? If you look at the alternative of what you can drink, then wouldn't you go for the alternative that's better? So, you know, where's my bottle here? So I make sure that I always have flavor in my bottle, but I always have natural flavors and natural colors. So I'm not having, you know, the artificial stuff that could be in Diet Coke. You know, it's there, but, you know, it's a lot of artificial sweeteners, a lot of artificial colors. It's probably not good for you, is it? It's not going to have a benefit on your health. So I prefer to kick that to the curb. That's HydroCharge. So basically you've got coconut water powder in that that's hydrating, and it's got antioxidants in it. So I kind of drink that. And the reason I mainly drink it is because it tastes good. If it tastes good, I'm going to drink more of it.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
I'm training to be a triathlete, and I cycle for 200 kilometers and 400 kilometers. But then you said that if you reduce your muscle, your performance will be improved while swimming or running. So what sort of diet should we go on to so that we can reduce our muscle and still be fit?
No. I had to reduce my muscle. I don't recommend that you reduce your muscle by any means, but I had to, because when I was getting ready for my triathlon, you know, to begin with, God, I was probably about 220 pounds at nearly 5'8". Way too heavy to be doing triathlons, because, you know, that's a lot of muscle that requires a lot of oxygen. For you, you're going to be absolutely fine. And if any case, you know, I'd increase the muscle density a little bit more, because, like I said, with that coordination, with that strength, with that assistance with recovery of having oxygen to the muscle supply and a blood flow to the supply to carry that oxygen, you're going to be that much more efficient. It'd be a mixture of both. You're probably looking at a 60-40 ratio of carbohydrates to 40 proteins. Yeah. So for about an hour and a half before you train, I'd recommend that you have egg whites and oats. Egg whites and oats, yeah. Egg whites are very high BV, bioavailability, very easy to digest. So when you go to the gym, you still haven't got the blood in your stomach trying to digest this food. It's pretty much assimilated by the time you get there. No, thank you.
Last question from my side. How many hours you sleep, sir?
How many hours per day? I always get asked that question. How many hours? I got a job, buddy. I don't spend hours in the gym. I train for about 45 to 60 minutes. About 5 times a week. But it's all about quality, it's not quantity. It's all about the quality, the efficiency of your workout. Like when I go in to train, I don't talk, I don't communicate, I don't socialize. I train pretty tough. And, you know, my body has been sore now for pretty much 16 years from my workouts. But it's because they're efficient. I use the time as quality within there. You know, I go in there, break the muscles down, and then I leave and feed my body, you know. When you're in the gym, you actually lose muscle. You're breaking it down. I don't want to be spending too much time in the gym breaking down the muscle to the point that I can't recover.
Chris, I think there are a lot of people who want to ask questions. I'll ask one question and then we'll end. The question is, how aligned is your program, your specific prescriptions to what the scientists have found by research? And how frequently do you modify your prescriptions based on changing scientific findings?
Very good question. I like this. Save the best to last. I'd say to a certain extent, my programs are very simplistic. If you think back to the days of, like Arnold, Larry Scott before him, it was very simple exercises, very simple workouts. I'd say to a certain extent, mine has gone a little bit further in regards to volume because I had injuries before I started training. So I train with a lot more volume, a lot more reps. Yeah, diet as well. So diet again. Now I'd say this is the same as what a lot of bodybuilders were doing back in the 70s, such as Arnold. It was 5 or 6 meals a day, mostly carbohydrates and proteins, not very high in fats. So again, very, very simplistic. A lot of things have come along since then, like, the intermittent fasting, the if it fits your macros diet, the ketogenic diets. I've never steered off towards those. I've tried them, but I found the old-fashioned way was the best way. Trying to get in a good, simple spectrum of foods. When you're dieting down, you may have to, eliminate some of those foods. But other than that, making sure that you're getting your fruits in, your fibrous vegetables, your fiber, your complex carbohydrates, your lean protein sources. Very basic. Now, I'll change that according to my program. If I need to diet down, then I'll change it. But normally, I'll change it like every 12 weeks or so. Every 12 weeks, I'll change things up a little bit, just to give my body a different change, to give my mind a change as well. Keep it interesting.
Thank you very much. Okay, one from our official photographer.
When do you get that wow moment? Wow.
That wow moment, it's got to be when I actually started going through physical therapy. When I started going through physical therapy, that's when I felt, wow, I feel good. I've got less pain. I'm not depressed. I have more energy. This is something that I want to pursue. Thank you.